Breaking news! As stated on many news articles, Jake Paul is willing to cancel the fight, or at least find a way of not fighting Mike Tyson. Tensions reached a boiling point as rumors state that Jake Paul's alleged attempt to avoid fighting the legendary boxer by faking an injury. The boxing world stood on edge as Tyson, fueled by a potent mix of frustration and anger, unleashed a torrent of fury directed squarely at Jake Paul.
There's this wild rumor going around that Jake Paul messed with Mike Tyson, and let me tell you, it was an instant regret moment for him. You know Jake Paul, right? The YouTube star turned boxer who's always stirring up drama. Well, apparently he took it a step too far this time. So the story goes that Jake, in his usual over-the-top style, started trash-talking Tyson. Now we're talking about Iron Mike here, a legend in the boxing world. Jake's been on a high after his wins, feeling invincible, so he thought he could poke the bear. Bad move, man. People are saying Jake confronted Mike at some event, trying to make a scene for his social media clout. You can imagine how that went down. Tyson, being the seasoned pro he is, didn't lose his cool. But according to the rumor mill, you could see the fire in his eyes. He just stood there letting Jake run his mouth, but everyone could feel the tension building. Then, out of nowhere, Tyson decided to show Jake a thing or two. He didn't even need to hit him. Just his presence was enough to shake Jake.
When you see Mike Tyson get a little nervous?
Yeah. It's motivating, I think. And I think it's good to carry fear into the ring and with you on a daily basis when you're training because it makes you better. But Mike, looking good on the mitts is not even half the battle. You have to face me in the ring, and
He knows that.
I think he might be like seeing these videos of how good he looks hitting the mitts and like getting like turned up, and his confidence is probably growing.
I think Mike is not underestimating you. He's probably preparing for a young, hungry dog who refuses to lose.
I don't think he is necessarily. I think the rest of the world is.
This question is for Jake. Obviously, Mike is one of the biggest hitters that the heavyweight division has ever seen. I just want to know, when you're thinking about his power, he looks very ferocious on Instagram, especially still. Do you feel like you'll be able to take Mike Tyson's power at this stage?
I know I will be able to. I'm a natural born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, is to move up into this weight class, and I'm going to show Mike who has the more power, because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me, and I believe that I hit harder. I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared, and that's what true bravery is.
Mike, can he take the power, Mike?
Excuse me?
Can Jake take your power?
We're gonna see, huh?
Tyson allegedly grabbed him by the shoulder, leaned in close, and gave him a piece of his mind.
I really like Jake a lot, you know, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
I truly believe that there's a lot of people who, you know, see me as an arrogant ass, which I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world. And I do think that the older generation wants people to see Mike knock me out, but at the end of the day, I also have the kids, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, the college students rooting for me and want to see me and Mike.
Jake's bravado evaporated in an instant. Can you picture it? This guy who's all about being loud and brash suddenly looking like a scared kid. But it gets better. Supposedly, Jake tried to laugh it off and keep up his tough guy act, but you could tell he was rattled. People who were there say he backed down real quick and even tried to apologize. Tyson just gave him this look like, "Kid, you have no idea what you're messing with."
Mike Tyson just warned Jake Paul on national television. The 57-year-old former heavyweight champion, who was set to fight Jake Paul on July 20th, just warned the amateur boxer during a live interview on Fox News.
Listen, will you please promise me you're going to kick this guy's ass and shut him up, please?
I don't think he's faster than me. You know, he's came a long way from YouTubing. And listen, I seen a YouTube of him at 16 doing weird dances. That's not the guy I'm going to be fighting. This guy's going to come, he's going to try to hurt me, which I'm accustomed to, and he's going to be greatly mistaken.
What do you think about this?
Mike Tyson is looking as good as ever and has a scary message for Jake Paul. Iron Mike has been training for his upcoming fight against Jake and is looking scary. Even though Mike is 57 years old, his speed and strength is still incredible. He's clearly not messing around with the training for this fight and knows what it takes to be the best in the world, which is scary for Jake Paul. Jake, on the other hand, is confident though that he can beat Mike, and Mike even asked Jake if he knows who he's messing with. Subscribe if you think Mike will beat Jake Paul.
The aftermath was hilarious. Jake's crew was all hyped before, but after that, they were dead silent. It's like they realized just how out of their depth they were. And Jake? Word is he left the event pretty swiftly, tail between his legs. Now, this is all rumor, of course, but can you imagine if it's true? Jake Paul thinking he could mess with Mike Tyson and coming out looking like a fool. Instant regret is putting it mildly. It's like the perfect example of how you shouldn't let your mouth write checks your body can't cash. Honestly, if this did happen, it's probably a good lesson for Jake. Maybe he'll think twice before trying to pick a fight with someone who's a bona fide legend.
Conor McGregor in a recent interview told his brutal opinion on YouTuber fights, an upcoming match of Jake Paul vs Mike Tyson.
Thoughts on this Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
Oh jeez, I don't. It's a bit strange. You know, is my interest? The interest is a low one. I don't know. I don't really. I don't understand it.
Got it. Any difference between this one and?
I wish well for Mike.
We're gonna go.
Strange comment is that if Jake Paul knocks out Mike Tyson, because that is not the Mike Tyson we know or respect. This is a much older version, as we know if he was in his prime, he absolutely rip apart Jake Paul. This form of Mike Tyson is nowhere near his prime. The build-up is absolutely entertaining as two trash talkers fight.
And I want to challenge myself in preparations for the Mike Tyson. I was scared of going up against Mike Tyson. I was unsure.
Do you really think that you're going to beat Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson has officially spoken out on the rumors of him stepping in the ring with Jake Paul for $50 million, and it's not looking good. Tyson tweeted this is brand new to him. He actually saw Jake not too long ago in St. Barth's, and nothing was mentioned. So who's lying, and will we ever see this fight go down?
Fight Mike.
No.
He wants to fight Mike, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't give a f if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson.
Mike's in good shape, too.
Oh, my God.
Mike trains every day.
When you get challenged by someone who's a guy like a Jake Paul, does that piss you off? Is it part of it that's just like...
No, it doesn't. I think it's awesome.
You think it's awesome?
Yeah, I think it'll piss me off. I think it's cool.
You think it's cool? That's awesome.
One thing's for sure, though. If this story keeps spreading, it's going to be a while before Jake lives it down. All right, listen to this crazy rumor. Mike Tyson is supposedly planning to sue Jake Paul for a whopping $350 million if he cancels their fight. I know, it sounds wild, but here's the scoop. So Jake Paul has been talking big about wanting to fight Tyson. You know how he is, always looking for the next big thing to boost his fame. But Tyson, being the legend he is, isn't playing around. He's ready to go, but he wants a commitment. Apparently, there's been a lot of back and forth about this fight happening, and Jake's been acting all unpredictable as usual. The rumor is that Tyson's had enough of Jake's antics. He's reportedly put his foot down and said, "If you back out now, I'm taking you to court." And not just for a small sum, $350 million. That's serious money, even for someone like Jake who's been raking in cash from his fights and YouTube channel. People are saying Tyson's legal team is already prepping. They're supposedly ready to argue that Jake's been causing damages by hyping up the fight and then pulling the rug out from under everyone.
The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has officially been cancelled and will most likely be rescheduled during the fourth quarter of this year, meaning sometime between October and December. Now, we're not entirely sure if the whole event will be cancelled, but it's very likely that it'll be. It's also unlikely that Jake Paul will have a replacement opponent, since this boxing match, even though it's sanctioned as a quote-unquote professional fight, the reality is it's nothing more but a glorified exhibition fight. I mean, it's really not fooling anyone, let's be honest. Anyway, according to Mike Tyson himself, this does correlate to the news about him having an ulcer flare-up a few days ago. In an official statement, Mike Tyson said that he has been advised by his doctor to take a break from training and get some rest and recover. He also followed this up by directly telling Jake Paul the following, quote, "Jake Paul, this may buy you some time, but in the end you will still be knocked out and out of boxing." In which Jake Paul responded with, quote, "I fully support postponing the event, so Mike Tyson has no excuses come fight night." How do you feel about this? Are you sad that it's being postponed, or are you more like, nah, it doesn't really matter?
Tyson's immediate response left no room for doubt, as he called into question the authenticity of Paul's injury claims, branding them as nothing short of a deceitful ploy to cancel their fight. As the speculation intensified, Tyson's message rang loud and clear. There would be no escape from fighting the Iron Mike. With the stakes higher than ever and Tyson's legacy hanging in the balance, the stage was set for a professional fight between professional fighter and YouTuber turned boxer. Wishing these rumors to not turn true, cause we want to see who will win.
Promotional stuff, the deals, the training expenses, everything. Tyson's not messing around. He's making it clear. This isn't a game. Imagine Jake's reaction. He probably thought he could keep playing his usual games, maybe back out last minute if he felt like it. But now he's facing a massive lawsuit. $350 million is no joke. That's the kind of money that could ruin someone, no matter how rich they are. From what I hear, this might actually be the thing that forces Jake to take it seriously. He's known for creating drama and then slipping out when things get too hot. But with Tyson on his case, he might not have that luxury. Backing out could mean losing everything he's worked for. And get this, Tyson's move is reportedly supported by a lot of folks in the boxing community. They're tired of Jake's stunts and see this as a way to teach him a lesson. It's like the whole industry's backing Tyson on this one. If this rumor is true, Jake's got some serious thinking to do.
The Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight is a disgrace to boxing. In one corner you have 57-year-old Mike Tyson, 30 years past his prime, who not that long ago was walking with a cane. And in the other corner you have Jake Paul, the least hated Paul brother, a YouTube boxer who's only ever fought retired fighters. This entire event is just one giant money grab. It's the lowest level of YouTube clickbait, but at the scale of a Netflix live event. And no offense to wrestling, but if you want to watch a fake fight for entertainment, you watch the WWE. The only way you'll convince me this fight isn't rigged is if Mike Tyson knocks out Jake Paul in the first round and sends him out on a stretcher. My prediction is that according to the contract, Jake will win and brag that he beat the former heavyweight champion, while Mike will tarnish his legacy for a good payday. A win for entertainment, but a sad day for boxing.
You know, you have a great relationship with Jake. Jake's going to be facing Mike Tyson. I know you're not picking in a sense. You have a great relationship with Mike, great, but just your overall thoughts when you woke up, saw it, it's on Netflix, it's going down, just...
we know what type of, fighter that Jake Paul is. Jake Paul is an influencer, but, he brings a lot of eyeballs and to the sport of boxing. And that's what he does. So he makes the biggest events happen in boxing. That's a big event. The world knows what kind of fight it is, and we know why he's doing it. But you cannot knock Jake Paul. That's how he got into it. That's what he does.
Any concern for Mike? I know he's a professional fighter. Just the fact of being older, father time. Just we've seen it with Evander Holyfield recently. Or you think it's an exhibition? Or?
Yeah, I think it's an exhibition match. I think it's going there, having fun, make a lot of money, and make it make sense for each other.
When do you think you'll be able to? After all this, would you ever do exhibitions and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm open to an exhibition if it makes sense. It gotta really, really make sense. It gotta be. The money has to be worth it because I'm out here fighting, real fighters, and I'm getting paid well doing it. So, we just do an exhibition outside of boxing when I'm fighting often. So for me to just go back into training camp and go back and prepare for an exhibition is really what has to make sense for me. It's not my main interest right now. My interest is fighting the best fighter.
The former 8th Division World Champion Manny Pacquiao.
Former Super Bantamweight World Champion. Former Featherweight World Champion. Former Super Featherweight World Champion. Former Lightweight World Champion, former light welterweight, world champion and reigning, defending WBO welterweight champion.
Reacts to the nearing fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson on July 20th.
Do you think Jake Paul can beat Mike Tyson? Sorry? Do you think Jake Paul can beat Mike Tyson?
I don't think so.
How do you think that fight goes?
Well, it can go two ways. Mike knows the sport. He's been in it all his whole life. So he knows how to pace himself to go 8 2-minute rounds. Jake Paul haven't been in that position yet, especially against a strong fighter like Mike Tyson. The pressure is going to be more on Mike Tyson. On Jake Paul than Mike Tyson.
You think Mike wins?
Absolutely.
Knockout?
Absolutely.
There you go. You heard it from Ronnie himself.
So yeah, if this lawsuit thing is real, Jake Paul might finally have to step up and follow through, or face one of the biggest financial hits of his life. Either way, it's going to be wild to see how this plays out. All right, so here's the juicy gossip. Word on the street is that Jake Paul is shaking in his boots about his next fight. Yeah, you heard that right. Despite all his bravado and trash talk, there's a strong buzz that he's actually pretty scared. Now, the plot thickens because rumor has it he's not just scared, he's being forced into this fight. Imagine this. Behind the scenes, his team, promoters, and maybe even some big money backers are pushing him hard. They're like, Jake, you gotta do this. Your brand, your rep, everything's on the line. So even though he's dreading it, he's stuck. It's not just about pride anymore, it's about contracts, obligations, and all that business jazz. And get this, some say he's losing sleep over it. The confident, loudmouthed Jake we see, it's all a front. Deep down, he's freaking out about getting in the ring with this new opponent. People close to him are whispering that he's been trying to find a way out, but the pressure's too intense. The kicker? This fight could either cement his status as a legit fighter or expose him as a fraud. And he knows it. So, while he's putting on a brave face for the cameras, insiders are claiming he's a bundle of nerves, reluctantly gearing up for what might be his toughest challenge yet. All right, check this out. Rumor has it that Mike Tyson is cooking up some serious revenge, and it's going to be massive. The word is, he's beyond pissed at Jake Paul. Yeah, that Jake Paul. Apparently, Jake disrespected Tyson in some major way, and now Iron Mike is planning a comeback like you wouldn't believe. So here's the deal. People are saying Tyson's been in the gym, training like a beast. He's not just working out for fun. He's got a goal. They say he's plotting something huge, something that's going to shock everyone. Picture this. Tyson, the legend, stepping back into the ring with one thing on his mind: revenge. Insiders are talking about how Tyson feels humiliated and wants to set things right. And we're not talking a casual call-out. No, Tyson's aiming for something spectacular, like a grand showdown that'll put Jake Paul in his place. It's supposed to be a big revenge of gigantic proportions, whatever that means. But knowing Tyson, it's going to be intense. Some say he's even got a whole team behind him, strategizing the perfect way to get back at Jake. They're not just thinking about a fight. They're planning an event, something that'll make headlines worldwide. The buzz is that Tyson's going to show everyone he's still got it, and Jake Paul's the target. It's crazy, right? The idea of Tyson coming back just to settle a score is wild. But with all the talk going around, it seems like it might actually happen. And if it does, you know it's going to be epic. Keep your eyes peeled, because this could be the revenge story of the decade. How did you feel about the clips I just shared? I think this is something that is definitely attracting the attention of people, and all of the clips were intriguing, along with my commentary. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for more thrilling updates.